What's up, guys? Markel here, Jolt TV. Yes, you are in the right place, but my channel, instead of particularly focused on hair, it's going to translate now into dental school stuff. I recently got accepted into dental schools, so I pretty much want to translate everything and start vlogging and showing different methods to get into dental school and all of the things I wish I would have known before actually applying. So without further ado, this is the big dental school website. For any school in the United States, you're going to have to go through this website, the ADEA AADSAS website. The big stuff with this website is where you put all your background information, you put all of your test scores, your experience, your personal statement. This website gave me a lot of hiccups, and I know for PA school, they use a similar website. And one of my friends, apparently she navigated it wrong. She didn't put in all of the questions she needed to, so her applications were incomplete. This can give a lot of people hiccups, and there are a few things you should know before actually applying, and a few things you can do early so you're not so bogged at the very end. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Before you even go to this website, make yourself a AADSAS pin. Also, it's going to be called a CAS pin on this website. That is going to be a pin that you're going to need for any website you go onto regarding DAT, setting up your appointments, just anything dental, you're going to need that. So that's an AADSAS pin or a CAS ID, and then you're also going to need a dent pin. Look at that on the ADA website, the ADEA website. These acronyms, I'm not going to say them anymore, but those are the two things you're going to need. Also, start early, save money. This is why you save money, because on this website you can get waivers, but essentially the fees for your dental school are going to be looking like this: $251, and then for each additional school is $180 or $108. I personally paid over $1,000 for the application alone. So just imagine how much the test material, that was extra. For the service I wanted, that was extra $1,000. Then you have to do secondary applications, which we'll get into. So get those pins down and start stacking your money. Now let's go ahead and get into it. This is the website. It's going to look like that at the start. And first thing you're going to do is personal information. There are 8 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're just going to start adding your information. Release statement is just a quick check. Biographical information, where you come from, where you live now. All of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Contact. The big one that you're going to want to look at is environmental factors and other information. Environmental factors, I'm not going to click on it to show all of my information, but it's going to revolve under, are you from a disadvantaged background? Which is very important, because they want to see somebody who will understand how to give back and what type of problems the community is facing. Because a big problem with dental is we want more dentists to give back to those underserved communities. So you're going to want to put that experience. Say you don't have any experience. Write how you are currently helping in that area. Maybe you're mentoring a child who's in one of those disadvantaged areas, or giving your time to go help back in those areas. That would be something very important to put, and I suggest you give back and have a very extensive list of community service events that you've performed yourself. Next is going to be childhood and family situations. Have you had any dentists in your family? Have you grown up, again, from a disadvantaged background? The struggles you had as a child. These are all really important that you're going to put as far as your environment and your upbringing. Parents and guardians, self-explanatory. Race and ethnicity is 2 questions. And next is other information. This is where you put in any felony charges, any criminal history, military experience, if you got out honorably, dishonorably. And one of the biggest things, since we live in a pandemic age, is going to be how COVID-19 affected you. What I want you to do now is write and make a giant list. Any question you ever answer from here on, even from your personal statement down to why do you want to be a dentist, you should put on a document So you can just tweak it, add it to new documents. I met a guy in dental school. He was saying that he just filled out a scholarship and used some of the same questions that he was asked in the past, tweaked the essay and sent it in and got the scholarship. So these essential questions that what hardships have you faced? What challenges have you faced in life? Name a time you were in a leadership position. You'll hear that at the interview. You'll hear it on the secondary application. So make sure you answer that and put it on a document so you're not doing it 4 or 5 times. So now we're going to get into academic history. Academic history, pretty self-explanatory. Where did you go to high school? You enter your high school information, colleges, universities you attended, all of that information. And this is where you need to understand that extra money is going to come into place. Maybe $3, $4, but transcripts need to be ordered. What happens with those? They take time. So order your transcripts ahead of time. Don't wait until the last minute. If you're applying for 2022, you're applying next year to go to dental school. That means you need to be ready a year ahead of that. So like for me, I'm applying for the 2022 fall semester. So I just got accepted 2021, but I had my information ready the year prior. So this is something you always need. It should be a rolling type of style where each year you're adding more stuff, you're getting more stuff prepped. I'm still in college currently, but I ordered my transcripts up to this point. And you see here, still attending. So they understand, okay, he's not done, but we can kind of see a good little track record on him. Next is going to be your transcript entry. All is going to be is the same stuff where you order your transcripts and you put it on there. And then lastly, your standardized test. The DAT takes time to get put in there. So if you can see, I took it in August, which was very late, so don't do what I did. But I took it late. It's going to take a few weeks to get put in there, even if the rest of your application is done. So you can still submit, but understand that it might take a while. All right, so now to your supporting information. This is going to be really important because you're going to have to put everything else as far as your history. So let's go to experiences. With my experiences, this list should be a lot longer, but I pretty much put everything big that specifically pertain to giving back to the community or dental itself. So I did a lot of volunteering. I've done shadowing experiences. I've been to dental events and dental shadowing at certain schools. And they might like this because if you're looking to put into UNC and they see that you did something at UNC, it could coincide and it could help towards your benefit. I believe here you can put impression days and other things like that. I just didn't really want to dabble into that. I thought these were most important and I just didn't want to fill it with BS. Here you can go ahead and check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your top things. I thought everything was more important than this right here. But if you have 20 things, list your top 6 so they see that off bat and they can determine, okay, we like these 4 things. Those were really his most important things or her most important things. We're going to go off that. Next, you're going to go into achievements. These are my big achievements. I, again, didn't put much. I could have put more, but I didn't really just want to BS in and sugarcoat it. Some stuff in the Army that I received, Dean's List. As you can see, 3 Dean's Lists, so I only put 2 just to have 4 things total. If, say I only have 4 things, put the top 4. But again, if you had other things, don't put the Dean's List 4 times, you know what I'm saying? Put the Dean's List once or twice, but really highlight those things that make you special. Talk your junk right here. Put everything, Boy Scouts medal, Girl Scouts medal, Honor Society, this society, all your big stuff, put it right there. As far as licenses, I was an EMT, a CNA, and a med aid. My EMT expires, so personally, I wouldn't put any expired things on here, but I put my CNA and my medication aid on here. This is where they can see, okay, this person is skilled in this area or this area, which may help you as far as dental. I could argue if you put, say you are a barber, you can say, okay, I was a barber, and they can look at that like you were detailed, you were precise, you know how to be really accurate when using your hands. Anything where you use your hands or you're exposed to medical knowledge, I would put that up there. That's very important. Now for the beast, the personal statement. This kills everybody. It killed me. The personal statement is really where you write about yourself and what really got you into dental. Maybe my name is Sally. I grew up in a disadvantaged neighborhood with no mother. So the dentist I went to, she acted as my mother figure and really got me into dental. She was so kind, and I spent a lot of time with her, and she let me play with the instruments. This is important because they see, okay, this is how this person got into the dental field. This is what motivates them and inspires them. And then they can kind of play off that and see your story. So this is where you tell your story. With the personal statement, it does take a long time, especially when you're getting it checked and edited over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And one thing, you're going to send it to multiple people to check and review and give their opinion. You can't take everybody's opinion. So take your top 3, 4, maybe 5, tweak it to how they say you should tweak it, and then give it up. Don't try to tweak it to 20 people's recommendation, because I'm going to tell you something different. Your mom's going to tell you something different. Your dad's going to tell you. Your teacher's going to tell you. And eventually you're going to be running with your head cut off. So start writing this early. This is something you might not remember when you were 8 years old, but over time, as you get closer to the dental, you're going to start thinking back like, I did go to that event. I did do this. This did inspire me. And it's going to help. So start that giant spreadsheet. Start putting your licenses on there, your achievements, your experience, anything that you've ever done that's important. Put it on there so you can use it for later. All right. So the last thing that we're going to go into is going to be the program materials. This is pretty much going to show each school that you apply to. Me, I applied to 9 schools, and each of these schools is going to show what they require and what they need. Obviously, I've checked all of these. If you do want to add another school, which we'll go into, go ahead and go to add program, and there is every school in the country by state. So if you can't find a school, you can go ahead and look around and figure out, okay, it's in this state, that's the school, blah, blah, blah. You're good, right? You go to submit application. And then lastly, you're going to go to checking the status. When you check the status, I am going to zoom in so you can't see. I have all my schools over here. Each school I have what the school was, pretty much what they said to me. So some schools here, they said none. So each school starting off is going to say none, 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 none. One down here still says none. After that, once your documentation is submitted and DAT scores, everything goes in there, it's going to say review / under review. So you know, okay, at least they got it. Then it's going to say invited for an interview. Cool, got invited for an interview. If not invited for an interview, application is going to be denied, which right here hurts to hurt. Application denied, right? But it also may say if they invited you for an interview, it's December 1st or after that, they might say, hey, we want you, congratulations, you're able to come into our school, and then you can make an offer. And they'll say, okay, offer made. Well, you don't make the offer, but they put the offer on the table. Hey, you can come to our school, we want you, offer made right there. But for one of the schools, I had already got into some of my top schools. So I said, hey, I don't want to do any more interviews. So I withdrew one of my interview applications. So there you go, withdrew before action, and they note that, right? So I can't go back and say, hold on, wait, take me now. So be careful when you do this. At least have a few offers before you try to withdraw, I mean. And as far as seeing none here, when you go to submit your application, let's talk about that. So you start to do all this, you put everything in, right? You go through each of these. Of course, say you're waiting for your DAT. You're waiting for your DAT. Once you submit all this and press enter and the applications go to the schools, email the schools. Hey, is there anything extra I need to do? Do you need any more answers? Because with each of these schools, let's see. With each of these schools, some have additional questions. Some have questions, additional documents they want. So you might have to add extra things, questions, documents. So you're always going to want to go back, because I, for one, forgot to submit everything I needed to on these schools. And one school was luckily enough to reach out to me and say, hey, you didn't submit your full documentation. Go back and do that. And I said, wow, I didn't even know. And I wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have emailed her. So once you fully are done and you press submit, each of these is fully complete and you're just waiting on your applications, go ahead and submit, hey, I submitted, just checking any other information I need. They may say no, they may say yes. In a few weeks, they're going to send a secondary application. That's where that money comes in, like I said before. And they're going to say, hey, we need you to put in money. We need, it's going to be about $75 to $95 per secondary application. I did 9 schools. That's a lot of money right there. Literally, I was putting it on my credit card because I was like, this is kind of crazy. Then you ask after that, once you put in the secondary, hey, I submitted my secondary. Can I get an update? They're just going to say, oh, we received it. Good job. Thank you. Then after that, if you're DAT like me, if you didn't take it till last minute, email them again. Hey, I just took my DAT. These are my scores. Then email them again. Hey, my DAT is now on the website, because it's going to go to this website first. And this is where they're going to be able to check it. So they're going to say, okay, we see your official DAT scores. Then after that, you can determine how many times you want to send the secondary email for an update. And I like to send one every month. But this time is where you get to double, triple, quadruple check your application, because you don't want to miss anything at all on your application. And speaking of missing things, once you submit, you better be double careful when you submit, because I myself pressed enter and this happened. A question was about manual dexterity, and I said sewing, because I was going to go back and add more to it. I was going to go sewing, sutures, IVs, using my hands. But I was too much in a hurry, and it was like 12 at night, and I was really done with this application process, and I clicked submit. Don't do this. This might have been the reason some dental schools said no to me. You want to make sure you double check it, have someone else check it. And along with checking it, there's a way that you can get a waiver where you don't have to pay for your first, I think, 4 or 5 dental schools. I put my information in wrong. You only get one chance. It's first come, first served. And they emailed me, hey, it's the day of it. You didn't get it. Now we need our $400. So just make sure you double check it. Talk to other dental students, talk to me. I will reach out to other students and have them double check it, because that's what I want this network to be, is just a bunch of people who can review everybody's stuff. I had personal statements read by other people. I've read other people's personal statements, and it's just a, hey, I check yours, you check mine, you check this, I check this. We're all trying to get into dental school, you know? So you want as much help as humanly possible. With all of that being said, you can update your application here and there, but you don't want to be updating it over and over and over again. A good way to update it is to add in more personal information, like those evaluations, more experience. I got on a pre-dental committee. That was super important to add because I had a leadership role. So I added that and updated it. But make your changes, do all of this stuff early. You should be done with at least 80% of this, other than applying to the schools. And remember, the deadline, the first day for the application submitting is June 1st, I believe. Have everything ready by the end of May, if not sooner than that, where you can just wake up, press submit, because first come, first served is a real thing here. By September, it's too late to put in applications, because we're already getting interviews. People are already getting accepted December 1st. They're already making their first number 1 people come December 1st. So You want to get this stuff in as soon as possible. You want to get on the radar. And after, in my next video, I'm going to talk about applications, impressions day, interviews, committees, leadership, just all these different things that are going to help you get into dental school. But this is just a preview to the website and the very, very first step. So save your money, get that dent pin and that AADSAS pin right here. Get all of that and start putting in your information. If you have any questions, comment below, email me, hit me up however, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.